right, hello friends and scholars. So today I want to talk with you about something called netiquette. So first of all, netiquette, what is it? So this is what we call internet etiquette, otherwise known as the proper way to interact with others while you're online. So if you're watching this, chances are you've just moved to an online education. And so when we are completing assignments online, we might be asked to participate in discussion boards, make videos, do peer reviews, and all of those things are going to require us to interact with others online. We might not be able to see them face to face. So it's important that we have a few rules about how we interact with those people. So our first rule of netiquette that I want to talk about is number one, remember the human behind the screen. So it can be really easy when we read or watch something that we disagree with to kind of forget that that information was created by another person, especially if we're reading it online. So I want you to remember that that person or that what you're reading was created by someone that is probably in the same situation as you, right? They're probably in this class, they're creating assignments, and they're doing their best. So I want you to respond to them with all of the kindness and dignity and patience that a person deserves. Okay, rule number two. Rule number two is to secure your secrets. So if you're online, you have something that we call a digital footprint. And your digital footprint is essentially you making kind of impressions across the internet, and the internet is gathering data about you, right? So every time you visit a website, every time you sign in somewhere, you make a comment or post a picture, that information is being stored about you. So when I say secure your secrets, I mean that I want you to make sure that you're being very cognizant about the material that you post. I want you to make sure that no secrets are being posted, meaning I don't want you to post things like your social security number or maybe even your address. I don't want you to post things that might be considered maybe confidential information. And if you have questions about what might be considered a secret or something that's confidential, why don't you ask a parent or guardian or ask your teacher to see if it's appropriate to post. All right, rule number three is going to be give credit. So we are going to talk a lot about what it means to give credit to a post or something that you post or write. There is something called plagiarism, right? So plagiarism is going to be when you present work that was written from someone else as work that you wrote yourself. So I want you to make sure that if you're posting something on one of our discussion boards or you're turning in a piece of writing, to make sure that you are citing your sources and you're giving credit where credit is due, right? If you didn't write that or if you paraphrased it, I want you to make sure that you are providing information about your source. Okay, rule number four is verify facts. So it is the year 2020. We are all familiar with the phrase fake news, right? So when I say verify facts, what I'm talking about is I want you to make sure that anything that you're posting has a valid source. And we're going to talk about what valid sources are a little bit later in this class, but I do want you to make sure that you are verifying that all the information that you are posting has been verified as correct. And if you're not sure, then state that in your post. All right, and finally, the last rule of netiquette is the internet is an extension of society. So I want you to pretend if you are talking on a discussion board, that is the same thing as you talking with someone face to face. Anything that you write online is going to be an extension of who you are as part of our society. So I just want you to remember that the internet is not its own separate bubble. It feels like that sometimes, but the internet is a part of our world. It's a part of our society, and it's important that you treat it as such. Okay, so those are the 5 rules of netiquette. Remember the human behind the screen, secure your secrets, give credit, verify your facts, and then finally, that the internet is an extension of society. Hopefully this helps us as we go and collaborate about our class, and we are able to properly interact with each other as we receive our online education.